to building lasting connections. So investing time in relationships, so focusing on the long term. As I said before, building long-term relationships and lasting connections requires consistent effort. Each interaction is a chance, obviously, to strengthen that relationship. One of the things we might want to do, and I'm sure many of you do it, is we might be wanting to reflect at the end of each transaction or conversation or interaction with a client, ask ourselves, what could I have done better? What could I have tweaked? So that because I believe, honestly, that the incremental value of making small improvements over each day of our working lives can result in absolutely magnificent things, because I honestly believe that there are no shortcuts to success. I do believe that client success, the client success that we build, is often the result of small, sometimes invisible and indiscernible actions that form a pattern over time, and we need to be mindful of that. Quality over quantity, I've said it before. Deep, meaningful connections create that trust and loyalty, which are more valuable than many superficial ones. We will be talking in another webinar about networking, and it's, I think, worth making a point here. Some people, I think, have a rather skewed idea about networking, and they think that it's all about going to any sort of random event and just hitting as many people as they possibly can. And of course, we need to be very targeted with our networking. We need to be very targeted in clients and creating great client experiences in terms of each of our interactions, and making sure that we focus and prioritize on those relationships that might need a little bit more work as well. In fact, I happen to deliver also an account management course, and during that account management course, we look at stakeholder analysis and how we should weight different clients so that we know where to be putting the action. In other words, what accounts have the highest potential. And then, of course, consistent engagement, stay engaged even outside of transactions, showing you value the relationship, of course, beyond business. And then, of course, follow up and add value. So regular check-ins, I'm a great fan of those. Follow up after transactions with personal messages or notes to maintain rapport, to show that you really care and want to see how things are going on. Provide useful insights instead of just checking in. Offer value, whether it's market updates, property tips, or new investment opportunities. And this keeps you relevant and positions you as a trusted resource. So that's something that you might want to think about as we try to create out this sense of ourselves as being a trusted advisor, a true consultant. Make sure that each and every interaction that you have with your clients adds some sort of value. Try to avoid using superficial language like, I just thought I'd check in with you to see how you're doing, or, you happen to mention your budget would be available now. Those sorts of things don't really add any value. So it's more offering property tips or invites to networking events or some sort of useful information will create the sense that each time you reach out, you're not doing it for selfish reasons, but actually you're doing it for reasons of wanting to share knowledge and expertise, which in turn creates more of a sense of you being viewed in that manner by your clients. And then, of course, showing appreciation is very important as well. That means that can be read in a number of different ways, but I think sending thank you notes or small gestures of appreciation after major deals do leave a lasting impression. So that might be, but it could even be that when we're negotiating with our clients, it might be that they come up with a very good idea and we show appreciation by saying, that's a jolly good idea. Thank you for mentioning that. And that in turn will, help the client to feel that there's more of a collaborative process going on. And then, of course, we come on to being accessible and available. Quick, responsive communication signals professionalism and reliability, especially in the fast-paced real estate world. I think we would all agree that attention spans have gone down. I actually was speaking to a Generation Z person the other day, and I said to him, how long does it take you to form an opinion about something? His answer was utterly shocking. He said, about a second. I mean, that's what we're dealing with now. It's quite extraordinary, isn't it? And I think we would all agree that if we go on a website and we've got to click more than 3 times or twice, we're almost like, I'm out of here. This is hard work. I ought to get a salary, draw a salary for this. People want the information very, very quickly. Please don't leave people waiting. In fact, for those of you that are fortunate enough to benefit from inbound leads, the latest research seems to suggesting that if we leave it more than 10 minutes, the lead is almost as good as dead, because our clients will have gone somewhere else to get what they need. So timeliness is, of course, very, very important. Multiple channels also is key. So be available across different platforms, email, phone, or social media, based on client preferences. Offer flexibility to meet their communication needs. I mean, some of your clients will not necessarily be particularly active online, but some will. So it's just thinking about, where do the majority of my clients, or a large portion of my clients, congregate? Very often, people will say to me, should I be on Instagram or should I be on LinkedIn or whatever? The answer to the question lies with, where are your target audience mostly based, really? And if they happen to be on LinkedIn, that's where you want to be looking. If you do create a profile on there, make sure that that profile is a profile that will magnetically attract clients to you. And the way that you do that is by answering particular problem areas that your clients will have, and coming back with answers to those questions. So don't do something that is a little bit sort of dull and just talks about, I've been at this company X number of years and we sell this and we do that. Rather, you want to put yourself in the shoes of your clients to be able to address specific questions that they have, so that your LinkedIn profile is rather like a mirror that you're putting up to them, and they see their own reflection, the reflection of their problems, but also solutions to those problems in your profile. And they will therefore, if your profile is fully optimized, want to get in touch. Be a trusted advisor. Go beyond your role by offering advice, resources, or connecting clients to other trusted professionals in the industry. So that does mean going the extra mile. Of course, I think we all know that when you're viewed as a trusted advisor, what is interesting is that clients behave quite differently around you. It's really quite remarkable. It's almost like you've built up this karma or this gravity, and people start now coming to you. People start knocking on your door. This is what we call being magnetic, or I call it being magnetic. So if you're viewed as a trusted advisor, it's less about chasing clients and more actually about clients chasing you, knocking on the door, and respecting that you are someone that can help them with their problems. And then, of course, we've got long-term relationship maintenance. So obviously staying in touch post-transaction. Don't disappear after the deal, because, of course, that will make you look very sort of fickle and short-term. Periodically check in to offer continued support or insights, making clients feel valued even after the sale or lease. I think that's so important. And then networking opportunities. Invite clients and stakeholders to events, or provide networking opportunities to further engage them and keep the relationship alive. I think that's really important. And of course, referral programs, so long as they're handled well, can be very useful too. So encourage clients to refer new business by offering rewards or exclusive services, strengthening their loyalty while growing your network. So just some thoughts there.